Hey guys, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. Guess what? I am live. You are live. We are live right now. And hey, you guys know who I am. I come on every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I've been doing it consistently for the last, I don't know, 8 months. Hopefully, I stick to this. I remain consistent for you guys. And if anything changes, I'll let you know. This is the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. We are dedicated to teaching you about tools, okay? All kinds of tools, different industries, getting you handy with these tools. We promote trade skills. It's all about trade skills, hard skills that you can take out into the world and make a living with, whether that's getting a job, whether it's starting your business or whatever. Hard skills, you just can't fail. You can't fail with a hard skill, okay? And sometimes on the lives, we dance around social issues, economic issues, political issues. You know how that rabbit hole goes, right? How deep that can go. Sometimes we touch on a little bit of that, but all tying into what this channel is about: promoting trade skills, DIY, home improvement stuff. Okay, that's what we're about. So if you like that, if you're into that stuff, you need to come subscribe, join the channel, learn a thing or two, and I guarantee you're going to learn a lot. Because guess what? I'm learning a lot all the time, even just by doing this type of content. All right, so come on in, guys. Say hi in the chat. Don't be scared. You know, the chat is wide open, and whoever comes in the chat, I will acknowledge you. You know, it's not a lot of people in the chat right now, but it will be sooner or later. Also, guys, right there in the lower, I would say the lower left corner, you see a website there, guys. Go check it out. Join the email list, calibrate.com. When we come out with new content, we got some products on there for you to look at. It's that time of year. Look behind me, guys. It's that time of year. It's winter time. I'm sitting out in the snow right now doing this live for you guys. You believe me, right? Yeah, it's cold out here, man. It's cold. But I'm doing it. That's how dedicated I am. I'm sitting in the middle of the snow in out here in the wilderness somewhere, doing a live for you guys, because that's how dedicated I am to bringing you this information. Right? Just kidding. I'm sitting in the studio. Everybody knows that's a backdrop. Okay. But today, guys, we're going to talk about something that's very important around this time of year. It's winter time. I know the title says winter is coming, but winter is here already, right? So hopefully you guys did everything you should have done to prepare your home for the winter. There are certain things you have to do to prepare your home for the winter, so you won't have issues. You ready, cold? The Waffle 2? The Waffle 2 says they're already cold. I know just by looking at this picture, right? You're freezing already, right? Yeah, I know it's really cold out here, but I'm dedicated. Dedicated to you guys. Hope you like the backdrop, though. That's a good backdrop, isn't it? But yeah, guys, let's talk about what you have to do. Okay, I'm just going to go over a checklist of certain things you got to do to winterize your home, right? Since it's this time of year, you shouldn't neglect it. Thanks for coming on in, Waffle 2. I appreciate you. I really do. All right, so let's jump back. Let's jump right into it. Okay, let's jump right into it. What are some of the first things you have to do, and why should you winterize your home? Okay, why should you winterize your home? Okay, well, um, a lot of times, there are people make a lot of mistakes not doing this, because during the winter, your pipes freeze, right? The pipes burst. All kinds of things can happen, right? Water can get caught up in your roof gutters. It's just crazy. And the repairs you have to do on frozen pipes, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Versus if you prepared your home before the winter came for those exact things, right? So, like I said, let's talk about some of the things you have to take care of. Number one, check your gutters. I just mentioned that. You want to stop ice from forming in your roof gutters, okay? Um, Roof gutters are like they're like the pipes for your roof, right? So anything that comes off the roof drains out of the roof gutters. You got to clean them on the regular, okay? Especially during winter times. You don't want any ice to form in your gutters. Um, and you because if that happens, everything gets clogged up, and it backflows right back into your home, right? And you don't want that. Okay, so number one, check your gutters. Okay, and if you have an attic, you want to make sure that it's well ventilated. Okay, it's well ventilated, and it should be warmer than the temperature outside, right? You want to make sure the floor of your attic, since we're talking about roofs and stuff, is pretty well insulated, because air can come in and seep through the floor and all that stuff. So you want to make sure that the upper part of your home is insulated and your gutters are clean and all that good stuff. Okay. Like I mentioned as well, you want to protect your pipes. Okay. You want to protect your pipes from being frozen, right? All right. So you want to drain them, and sometimes you got to release the pressure in your pipes as well. So you don't have any air pressure in them. And there's a way to do that. But, it makes sense, right? During the wintertime, if there's water in your pipes and water freezes, when it freezes, it expands. All right. And it can bust the pipe. It can burst, cause the pipe to burst. And that's why you have to empty your pipes. You have to drain all your pipes, all your water pipes, all your plumbing, okay, during the wintertime, especially if you're a snowbird and you like to travel south for the winter. Okay, so very, very important. Okay, so let's go on and see what else we have to do here. Seal any cracks in your windows, doors, where air escapes, like your air condition chutes, your mail chutes on your door. You want to seal those all up with caulking or something like that, so no cold air can seep in, right? Because that's what you're trying to stay away from during the winter, the cold air. So you want to seal all that stuff up. You want to put some weather stripping on around the doors, around the windows, or wherever it needs to be to keep that air out. Okay. Any ideas, guys? Any ideas? Anybody live in cold climates want to chime in and add anything as I go along? All right. No problem. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue. Okay. Yeah. So everybody knows driveways and sidewalks and stuff like that around your home can get piled up with snow, and it can pose a health hazard. Why? Because a lot of slip and falls happen during the winter, right? A lot of everything's wet, everything's iced up, and you walk outside. I remember I saw a video one time. This guy, he was leaving, going to work, and I mean, it was so. I mean, I know you shouldn't laugh at it, but the way this guy slipped and fell down his driveway, his cold, because it was wintertime, it was so funny. So those things just happen, and it makes sense because everything's cold, it's frozen. You want to make sure all the ice and snow is clear, right, of your driveway, your sidewalk area, your handrails, your steps. Slipping and falling is, I've done it, and it's not fun. It's not fun. You can really hurt yourself, or somebody in your family can get hurt, and you don't want that. So you want to probably keep some salt around, to melt the snow, to sprinkle it around the steps or the driveway. You want to keep a bucket of salt, okay? So you can take care of that. All right. You want to make sure all the thermostats in your house are working, right? You want to go around and check all of those to make sure they're in good working order. You may want to install they got energy efficient thermostats right now, okay, and they won't rack up like high energy bills. Okay, so you want to look into those as well. Okay, so you got all kind of technology out there right now to help winterize your home. You want to check your heating system, guys. Your heating system. If you got a furnace or a boiler, you want to make sure your chimneys and all that stuff are clear. Okay, because if you like to sit around the fireplace, you want to make sure that smoke and stuff can escape, and that your house won't be full of smoke. So you want to make sure all your chimneys stuff are clear and all that good stuff. Okay. You want to make sure your smoke detectors in good working order. They got the batteries in them. You may want to test them every now and then. If you got carbon monoxide detectors, make sure those things are working as well. All safety stuff. Okay. Anything to add, people? Let's see. Let me go back. Perry Go Life Notes. Hey, Perry Go Life Notes. How you doing? Do people keep hot water dripping to keep the pipes from freezing? That's a very good question. Do people keep hot water dripping to keep the pipes from freezing? Well, what people do is they drain the pipes. Okay. What you should do is drain all of the water out of the pipes. Okay. And copper pipes are usually the worst because they burst. They're usually more vulnerable to bursting, and So yeah, you want to drain your pipes. You want to get the air pressure out of your pipes as well. What kind of salt, Perry Go Life Notes? Good question. I don't know. Maybe it's just regular salt, or it could be, is sea salt better than just regular table salt? That's a good question. I have to do some research on that. But I know salt is definitely useful during the winter. Okay, to melt that snow and all that good stuff. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here, guys. All right, here's another one, guys. Keep the trees trimmed and remove dead branches and debris from your yard. Okay. Why is that? Because ice and snow and can accumulate on trees dead and branches that are laying around. And if it gets too heavy and the trees already, it's not as strong, the ice can accumulate and actually break those branches and they can fall, right? And I've heard stories of branches and actual trees falling on people, killing them. And so, you probably want to trim your trees, like they say to trim your trees, get any dead branches out of there, and so you won't have to suffer any damages to your house or to yourself. Okay. It says remove all garden hoses that are attached to the house, drain them and store them away, shut off the valves and insulate the faucet. Okay. So you got to turn all your water off. Like I said, like I mentioned several times already, drain the plumbing system so no freezing happens. Once again, water in pipes, water expands when it's frozen, and it'll crack the pipes. So you definitely got to do that. If you're going out of town, like I said, if you're a snowbird or somebody like that, and if you have a reliable neighbor, have them check around your home for you while you're gone to make sure everything's okay. Because a lot of times home insurance policies, they don't cover damages due to extreme weather, right? Especially like winter weather or something like that. So you may want to call your insurance agent and verify that. Or if you have any questions about that, maybe you can get some extra coverage or something like that. Or, yeah, it's always better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry, right? Now let's see here. Waffle 2, I am living in the house. Do I still drain the pipes? Good question, Waffle 2. What I would do is I would, if water can freeze overnight, right? Water can freeze overnight. So I would think that you would cut off the water or drain the pipes for a period of time, like when you're not using the water. Like you're not using it all day, right? You're not using it all day. So you want to use it sparingly. You want to use it sparingly so it would reduce the chances of it freezing on you like overnight, right? So that's what I would do. Once again, I'm not an expert on all of this, to be honest with you. I just want to give you guys a list of things you should look into. And if you need more information, you can do your own research on that. But yeah, that's what I would think you would do, the Waffle 2. You would use water sparingly if you live in a colder climate like that, where you have ice and snow and all that. Very good life note says, you're right, sea salt melts the fat, melts. I'm assuming you mean sea salt melts water the fast, or melts snow. It melts snow the fastest, right? Yeah. That's interesting that sea salt would melt snow the fastest versus regular table salt. And sea salt is considered more natural, I guess, Himalayan sea salts or whatever kind of sea salt they have, versus table salt, which is, I guess, more processed salt. And I'm just assuming that it is. So that's interesting that the more natural the salt, the quicker or the more powerful, potent it would be in terms of melting something, melting water and stuff like, or absorbing the water. Very interesting. Thanks for that, Perigo Life Notes. Good point. Yeah. All right, guys. So what else should we do as far as winterizing your home? Okay. We talked about pipes. We talked about weather stripping your windows, your doors. We talked about your gutters. What else? What else should we check? Okay, I did mention check your fireplaces. Okay, if you got a fireplace, and a lot of people do. Okay, you should be having your fireplace inspected usually every year, right? At least some kind of annual inspection of your fireplace, and also, just to see if debris builds up in the chimney. Yeah, I did mention chimneys, so call a professional chimney sweep or something like that to come clean the chimney. I think they call them chimney sweeps. Come clean out the chimney before winter hits, and vacuum up or take out any ash from the actual fireplace area itself. Now, if you have an electrical fireplace, that requires, like, you can't really skimp on cleaning that, right? You got to clean that on the regular, an electrical fireplace, right? You got to maintain that and make sure those are in good working order. All right. So what else? What else, guys? I talked about thermostats, programmable thermostats, that are more energy efficient. Okay. If you got plants, if you're a plant person, you like green stuff all around. All right. You like green stuff around your house. You don't want them to die. You're going to have to bring them inside. Okay. You're going to have to bring them inside when the cold hits, right? Because those cold snaps will kill your plants. So boom, gone. You don't want that. So you got to look out for your plants. If you're going to bring your animals in, well, you definitely, neglect your plants. I don't know. Because plants, they're living beings as well. So you got to bring those inside. And I think the temperature for plants shouldn't be below 45 degrees Fahrenheit, based on some research I did. So bring your plants indoors. If you have any kind of like grills, like you like to grill outside or something like that, you're gonna have to protect those as well, right? Any outdoor furniture, grills, stuff like that, bring them in, store them, or cover them up. Especially if you have something like a gas grill with a propane tank or something like that. You want to make sure you close that tank valve, okay, and disconnect the tank, okay, and then store it, right? All little things that's going to protect you and protect your equipment, so you can have them after the cold snap happens. You can enjoy these things afterwards, right? You don't want to neglect anything, guys. I mean, they got some harsh winter weather. I think a couple years ago in the Northeast, man, it was storming hard. Okay, so if you don't have a place to put them in your home, just make sure you buy the appropriate covering for them, like a really nice thick tarp or something to cover them up, and so they'll be protected from the elements. All right. Okay. The Waffle 2 mentions storm doors. Very interesting. I didn't see anything about that in my research on this. Storm doors, though. Waffle 2 says, "Yep, you definitely got to have that, right? Let's just say your power goes out for some reason. You got an emergency situation where the power shuts down, right? So a blackout or something. Who knows what could happen, right? A big tree falls on the power lines, cuts off the power, and you're out of power for like hours or maybe a day or two. You got to have some warm blankets, like the Waffle 2 said. You got to be able to cover up when you have no electricity, no power to heat yourself." Perry Good Life Note says, Google says because of a combination of sodium, chloride, sulfate, and magnesium. What's that about? What's that relating to? Is that relating to the salt comment? Claudette, hey Claudette, how you doing? Good to see you. Claudette says sometimes she covers her outdoor plants with sheets. Wow, man, that's a plant person. They go out there. That's like covering a child with a sheet and when they're getting ready to go to bed. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Protect what you care about. You got to protect them. You just can't neglect them when it comes to this stuff. Okay. So yeah, Paragraph Life Notes. Once again, is that referring to the salt when it talks about? Yeah, because I know sodium chloride is salt. Sulfate and magnesium is, yeah. Tie that in. Paragraph Life Notes. Trying to figure out what you're saying here. I think you're referring to the salt. Yeah, guys. So Waffle 2 mentions storm doors. Yeah, I mean, I would think that those are useful as well, especially in like it's not only cold, but it's cold and windy. Like you got blizzard type of condition, right? And you want to be able to protect your home. So storm doors, I have to do more research on that as well. So she is referring to the sea salt. Great. Yeah. So what else here, guys? Yeah, so here's another one. It's pretty common sense. If you got power tools like lawnmowers, trimmers, stuff like that, outside, you're gonna have to clean those out. Definitely don't leave them outside, and you're gonna have to store those as well, right? Uh, Gotta have a snow blower. If you know what snow blowers are, those are machines that blow the snow out of your driveway. So if you live in those type of areas where snow is really heavy during the winter, you definitely need a snow blower. So you're gonna have to have the equipment ready and on hand. Okay, and I talked about cutting those tree limbs, tree branches earlier. Definitely gonna have to have some kind of saw or anything, chainsaw or something like that to get those branches down. Okay. What else, guys? What else can you add to the mix for me? Okay. If you have a furnace, you want to make sure the furnace is functioning. Most furnaces, they have a filter, and you can take the filter out yourself, right? It's just you take the vent off, pull the filter out, clean it out. A lot of times those filters have all kinds of stuff in it. They got lint in it, dirt, dust, pollen, things like that stop the airflow, right? So I've cleaned big filters before, and you just take it outside. I'll take it outside, wash it out with the water hose, and clean them out real good, and make sure they're dry, and just put them back in. So it's cleaning your filters not that hard, but you got to replace those filters at least every 2 to 3 months. Okay, 2 to 3 months, I would say. We know about your energy bills. How do you save on energy bills? You may want to invest in some LED light bulbs, right? They're more energy efficient. Okay. A lot of times your power company, they have these energy saving programs going on. You may want to look into those to see what you can get out of it. And yeah, that stuff doesn't cost you anything, right? Also, guys, a lot of times when you have cold weather like this, like what you see behind me, your roof gets a beating, and your roof gets hit with snow, gets hit with ice, sometimes hail. Hail hits the roof. I mean, it can get damaged, rain, all that stuff, and it can do a toll on your roof, right? So you want to make sure that your roof is in good shape before the winter, right? There's no cracks or leaks or anything like that. You want to go up on there and inspect your roof. Look for any like broken shingles, or look if you have hip and valley. If you have a hip and valley roof, you want to look to see if the valleys are not clogged with anything or damaged, or the flashing is damaged as well or deteriorated. Definitely want to clear off any kind of leaves. You got tall trees with pine needles. You want to clear those off. So yeah, you want to make sure all this stuff, guys, is ready. Okay, ready. Once again, we talked about the branches of the trees. You want to cut them from over your roof, because once again, if the snow accumulates on the branches, they freeze on the branches, and they create those icicles, big icicles, heavy ones. They can fall and crash through your window, or hit a roof. Hit your roof and damage the roof. Let alone fall on you. And sometimes those icicles, they're pretty sharp, right? So imagine those things falling down and hitting you. I mean, it could take you out, potentially take you out. So, yes, you want to look around to see if your roof is clear, and check the condition of your roof. Okay. All right. What else, guys? Oh, here's one. Says to help keep chilly air from leaking in through window cracks, swap out the lightweight summer curtains. This is for your interior designers right here. You want to swap out your lightweight summer curtains with thermal lined curtains or drapes. Okay, so even your curtains need an overhauling during the winter, right? They have, as they mentioned here, they have thermal curtains. I didn't even know they had that. Okay, to help to keep the heat in. All right, and what else? All this stuff helps to keep your energy bills down as well, right? Because you don't have heat escaping. Okay, you're keeping it in with these precautions, and that keeps your energy bill on the low side, right? All right, let's see here. Let's see any comments. All right, the Waffle 2 says, so, wait, let me go back to Perry Girl Life Notes here. Older windows, can you put a seal or strip to help? Yes, you can put weather stripping on older windows. You definitely can, Perigord Life knows. Waffle do some recommend putting thick, transparent plastic over windows that are drafty using Velcro or adhesive. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you don't care about looks, uh, I can see doing that. I can see doing something like that. Covering the windows with plastic, right? Something that you can see through if it's transparent. Yeah, if you don't care about looks, it's cold. Who cares, right? It's wintertime. Nobody's going to be peeking through your window. Oh, look, they got plastic over the windows. Look, who cares, right? You're trying to stay warm. You're trying to stay warm. So that's a good point. That's a good point to waffle to. Thanks for bringing that up. That's what I like about lives, guys. A lot of people bring in tips and recommendations that I don't cover, and that's the whole point, right? So we can share and learn from each other on these lives. Okay, so let's see here. Anybody live in a colder climate? I don't. I live in the Southern California area right now, so but I try to do something for everybody. Try to do something for everybody. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah. So here's some tools that since Calibrate Tools and DIY is all about tools. Let's talk about some tools that you should have on hand. Well, we talked about the snow blower, right? That machine that you see people in snowy climates, they're pushing it, and it's like it blows the snow out of the driveway or whatever path they're trying to create. You might want to invest in a snow blower or at least a snow shovel. A snow shovel. You definitely want to have an ice scraper. Why is that useful? Because let's just say you're driving in ice. Everybody knows the feeling of ice or a layer of film of ice building up on your windshield when it gets cold and you can't see anything. You can't see what thing, okay? So an ice scraper, you definitely got to have that in your car, or have one in your car, have one in your house to scrape off the windows in your house. Definitely one for your car, for your windshields, your back windows, all your windows. Okay. They got something called an ice melt. I guess that's something. It's like a heater that you can melt the ice as well, right? It's almost like a heat gun or something. I'm assuming. You want flashlight. You want a flashlight with extra batteries. Okay. In case the power goes out, which happens in stormy weather a lot. A weather radio. Okay, I don't know about a CB radio, one of those what do they call those radios where people they're down in their basement talking to each other. You want a weather radio, and you want an emergency car kit. Okay, an emergency roadside ready kit. Guys, if you go to calibrate.com, okay, we have roadside emergency kits on the site that you can get, right? It has the jumper cables. It has all that. It has even a blanket. It has flashlights, gloves. It has the cones that you have to, the reflector cones. If it's nighttime and somebody has to see you, if you're stalled on the road, everybody, especially women, okay, should invest in a roadside emergency kit. Okay, so go to calibrate.com and grab your roadside emergency kit. Okay, we got one for you right now. Okay. You should definitely stock up on water and food that that doesn't require cooking or anything like that. Canned food, dried fruit, maybe crackers or granola bars or something like that to keep something that you don't have to prepare on a stove in case the power goes out, right? That'll give you the energy to survive, say, an emergency situation. If you got pets, you want to stock up on pet food. I know you pet lovers. You're not going to neglect your pets, right? You got to stock up on your pet food, right? Definitely stock up on batteries. Okay, definitely stock up on batteries in times like that. Okay, so let me see here, guys. Claudette says walkie-talkie. Yeah, absolutely. You gotta have a walkie-talkie. I remember as a kid we had the walkie-talkies, and in the military you got the walkie-talkies. Very, very necessary. Very necessary. All right. Very good. Like I said, I'm cold after 70 degrees. 70 degrees. You mean below 70 degrees? Yeah. Very good. Life says she's cold below 70 degrees. I hear you. Everybody has their their own tolerances or temperature tolerances, right? Some people's bloods are thinner than other people's blood, right? The Waffle 2 says, yes, northeast, already below 32 at night. That's where you are, the Waffle 2? Man, I feel for you. I feel for you. Yeah, guys. So these are some of the things you gotta look for. You gotta prepare. It's all about preparation in life. It's all about preparation. Those harsh storms are gonna come, but if you prepare yourself, you'll be all right. You know. And what's wrong with that, right? It's better than being caught off guard and having to pay the price later, because it always costs more when you don't prepare. It always costs more when you don't prepare. All right. So let's see. Talked about the roofs, making sure your roof is in good condition. Very important. Yeah, your heating system, right? Did we mention the heating system? Right. I talked about your chimneys. If you have a boiler, the boilers. I think a lot of times, like Waffle 2 mentioned, in the Northeast, up north, a lot of people they use boilers, right? They use boilers, and furnaces, right? Make sure that at least once a year you check on these things, okay, to make sure they're running efficiently, and you don't have any problems. You won't get caught with your pants down with equipment that's not running, right? So you got to check them at least once or twice every year, guys, for the winter time, when that winter hits. Okay. They also have these things for your pipes. They're called tubular pipe wraps, okay, or rolled pipe wraps, okay, and you wrap them around your pipe, and that helps to keep them, from freezing up as well, right? So they got different products you can invest in to make sure that your plumbing and your piping stay in good working order, right? Through storms, through cold weather, through hot weather, all that stuff. I think I'm going to probably do another live on what to look for during like a heat wave, how to protect your house, or prepare your house for extreme heat waves. Because I know on this side of the world where I am, we do have our heat spells, because I'm in the desert. Pretty much that's all it is. Southern California is just pretty much a desert, right? So yeah, I'm gonna try to cover that on another another video. Try to cover all bases there. All right, guys, I just want to jump on and give you some pointers. About what to look for this time of year. Prepare your home. Hopefully you got something out of this. Okay. And I appreciate everybody coming on here. Prepare your life notes, the Waffle 2, Claudette McCoy. Everybody comes on here and supports the channel, whether it's now on the replay. I appreciate you very much. Go to calibrate.com and grab a roadside ready kit I have on there for you. And I'll see you guys next time. Be safe out there, okay?